Hey guys, it's Gameface here, and welcome back to episode 35 of our Manchester City career. Now in today's episode we're going to be continuing on with the January transfer window. The first game that we've got to also play as well is against Newcastle. Then we've got the Manchester derby also this episode, a week after the game against Newcastle, followed by a game that we might get to. It's the second leg of the Middlesbrough fixture that we have in the semi-finals of the EFL Cup. So potentially an interesting game to try and get us into the final also in today's episode as well. But since we're in the January transfer window, our main focus is going to be players coming in and out as well. In particular, leaving. I want to try and get as many players out the door as possible because we've still got a lot of players to try and get rid of. Last episode we signed Danilo, which is obviously a fantastic signing. He will start in this game against Newcastle. Really interested to see how he gets on in that position, and we could well add a couple more players as well into our team in today's episode. Before we get into things though, if we could try and hit 100 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel or just haven't subscribed yet, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. They're actually fantastic. Obviously, it just takes a second to click that button down below, and I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, let's quickly take a look at our shortlist. There's some players I've been taking a look at in today's episode. First of which is probably going to be Goretzka. I think he's going to be a player that we're going to try and sign. Renato Sanchez won't be signing now. I think he's likely to either go to Man United or stay at Bayern Munich in real life, so we won't sign him. Goretzka has been rumoured to go to City, but to be honest, I think a new centre-mid will be quite unlikely at City, so we're just going to go for ones that have been rumoured, even if they don't go. Another player we could sign is Thiago, but he's massively, I won't say out of our price range, but his price is massively inflated because he's gone up to 88 overall now, so he's going to be very expensive. I just don't think that would be financially good for us. I know obviously we can afford it, we've got plenty of money, but I just would rather get into someone like Goretzka who's going to grow a little bit more and will be another one of those players that doesn't really mind sitting on the bench occasionally if we need him to. So that's the reason behind probably going to sign Goretzka in today's episode. Also, like I said before, we're going to have to try and get rid of some players. Sami Nasri could be one to leave, and we'll wait and see after the game against Newcastle whether we can get him to be sold. And yeah, let's go on the game against Newcastle now. This is I'm going to go with Ederson starting goal, Danilo, as I mentioned, at right back, Stones, Minucci and Bertrand in defence. Also, got Sol, Yaya Toure and De Bruyne in midfield, Raheem Sterling, Leroy Sané and Aguero started my front three. So quite a strong team really. This is the match we've gone with as well. Plenty of different options as ever. Let's crack on with the game. Okay, then here we go against Newcastle in this match. Hopefully going to get ourselves another 3 points. I'll be really interested to see how Danilo gets on at right back. That's my main sort of focus for today's game, as well as obviously winning the match. Currently 7 points in front of second place, so really starting to open up a proper gap now in front of Chelsea, who are in second place. And I'm just hoping that so we can continue a good run in this match. Kevin De Bruyne looking to play into Danilo was around that area actually. He's got forward nicely early on. Oh, ball through to Armstrong. Always put them 1-0 up. Inside the first 20 minutes here, Adam Armstrong gets the goal for Newcastle. Just finds a way through our defence. It's a really good little ball that's just cut us open. And it's a decent finish as well from the youngster. And Newcastle have taken the lead here. A little bit surprising, of course, because usually we are used to taking the lead ourselves first. But yeah, I can't really say it's not been, I wouldn't say deserved. It has been pretty even. Neither side have had chances, to be totally honest. So in my eyes, I think it should still be 0-0. We haven't really either side had many chances in the opening 20 minutes. But it's a good finish to taking the chance, being very clinical there. And then now win the game 1-0. Aguero looks at Sterling, great run through the middle. Sterling always slots it home past the goalkeeper. We've not had many chances at all, really. We've just, every single time we've got to the defence, it's not quite happened for us. This time, though, we find a little run through from Sterling, and he slots it home past the goalkeeper. It's 1-1 now, and about 10 minutes to go for the rest of this first half. So far, though, not doing so bad. Like I said before, not creating loads of chances, but it seems to have been enough to just create one here. Kevin De Bruyne involved, as is Aguero with a little chip through. Good little touch, and there's no stopping that. It's 1-1. And that's it for the first half. Still drawing the game 1-1 here against Newcastle. So far, it's been a fairly even game, to be honest. Newcastle having good chances at times when they've gone forward. I think we've certainly had the possession more in their half than they've had in ours, but just not had as many chances as we'd hoped so far. But I'm still optimistic, got a great team out. I'm sure we'll find a way to score another goal. Kevin De Bruyne going to try and turn his man and shoots. He gets the shot away, but it's over. Leroy Sané. Oh, hits the bar. Great strike on his left foot. Kevin De Bruyne following up, as is John Stones for some reason in the box there. Oh, Sané straight onto the centre-back. Now onto Sergio Aguero. Aguero, he must be. It is, it's 2-1. That's a really poor decision there for the centre-back. Not so sure who it was in defence, but it was certainly a really poor decision to keep hold of the ball for so long with Sané lurking behind him. He wins back the ball, plays it onto Aguero, who keeps himself onside. And with 30 minutes left of the game, we put ourselves in front. Don't know what he's thinking here. Trying to play out from the back is very risky against our front three, and I've shown exactly why that is. Brilliant finish as well from Aguero. Nice little finesse. It's 2-1. Leroy Sané onto Kevin De Bruyne. Great little pass through. De Bruyne is going to look for a ball across to Aguero. Oh, that's beautiful play. It's now 3-1. The floodgates are starting to open. It's a few minutes after we get the second. Sergio Aguero again scoring another goal for us. That's now 3-1 and 64 minutes in. Brilliant play from Leroy Sané, De Bruyne, Aguero this time. Fantastic combination between those three. And really good play around the Newcastle defence. Opening them up nicely. Look at this little pass. Lovely little roll into Kevin De Bruyne's path. And Aguero getting himself in the right position. 3-1. Okay, so all three changes now. 25 minutes left. Delph, Diaz and Roberts all to come on. We'll take off Sol, Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling. And we'll see how we get on. Wanted to maybe take off Sergio Aguero, but I don't think we can really. In fact, we might just stick Raheem Sterling up front. We'll take off Aguero and do that. Newcastle opening us up here. Good chance for De Jong. He's going to shoot and needed to be saved as well by Ederson. And gets a good hand to it out for a corner for us to defend. Newcastle still have a threat going forward. They're actually doing all right offensively. It's just defensively they're not doing particularly well. Good punch away by Ederson. Sané into Patrick Roberts. Now he's going to have to run past the defence. He's still going Patrick Roberts. Can he get a shot away? Roberts! Oh, slots it wide. Wanted him to take it on his left foot. Of course, that didn't happen, and inevitably it was going to always go wide with that. That's it. A 3-1 win here against Newcastle. That's 3 points for us in the bag. Really happy with that performance, as well as the result as well. Of course, no clean sheet, and we had to come back from 1-0 down, but I think we did really well in the end to come away with a decent win for us here. 11 shots, 4 of which on target, so not many shots on target, which is obviously something we need to improve on. Was one of the reasons why we were 1-0 down at an early stage of the game. But yeah, certainly things to improve on, but a good result nevertheless. Okay, and good news, as we've come out of this game, Goretzka has accepted the contract, and he can now join us. £35 million is what we can bring him in for. We will just reject the deal with Renato Sanchez. For me to bring in Goretzka, though, I think we would have to get rid of Sol, and yeah, obviously that's not quite happened yet, but we are going to bring him in. But also, I think we are at our maximum squad capacity as well. Yeah, we are. So that means we have to wait a little bit for players to be sold. Sami Nasri's going hopefully in the next few days. Kyle Walker's back from suspension as well. Okay, so on to some player drills now. These are the 5 players I'm going to go with. Hill comes in for a drill. I don't think we've actually trained him up at all since he's joined us. He comes in for a beat your man, which seems a little bit weird, but he has actually got quite good standing in slide tackle, so I'm not really going to try train him up just yet. We're going to try train up on some other attributes like ball control and things like that. This week, not so bad. A few attributes going up, no changes in overall though. Lewis not so far off, 65 overall now, so not too bad. Okay, Southampton will come back regarding the Sami Nasri deal. £11.5 million is what they're willing to pay. We asked for 14, I believe, in the last episode, because that's how much he's worth. So I think we're going to have to continue with it, to be honest. I don't really want to go less than what he is worth. We'll go. I think we'll go 13. I mean, I don't want to, but we'll do it so we can get him out the door. He's on a huge wage as well, of course, which will free up a massive amount in that sense. And we've got to try and get him out the door to get Goretzka as well. So we'll do that. I'm reluctant to do it, but of course that's what happens when you transfer list players. They end up being sold for much less. Transfer for in here for Gundogan, FC Barcelona, £44.5 million for him. He's not a player that I want to get rid of. Obviously, City have him in real life, so I want to try and keep him. But I don't use him as much as I'd hope to. I think that's when I get rid of Sol, who will certainly come into the first team ahead of Goretzka to begin with, and we'll compare those two performances in game. So for now we will reject all offers, but certainly an interesting offer. We have had big offers, I think, from them for him before. Okay, transfer for in here for Lucas Hernandez, a player that we've also transfer listed as well. We've barely used him since he joined. He was rumoured to join Man.City in real life. That obviously never happened, and I believe, was it him that joined Real Madrid in real life? I can't remember whether it's him or his brother. I always get mixed up, to be honest. But one of them joined in real life anyway, and it doesn't look like this guy's going to join Man.City, so we'll get rid of him. Tottenham put £10.5 million. We're going to be a bit picky, ask for an extra million, because I want to be selling these players above their value, ideally. Not that it really makes too much of a difference, but of course we want to get in as much money as possible. They've come back and say they don't believe Sami Nasri's worth 13 million. They couldn't stretch an extra £1.5 million. That's frustrating, because obviously that deal is now dead in the water, and that means the Goretzka deal is now looking close to being under a little bit of a problem, because obviously we don't have a space in the squad, and that deal will expire soon. So maybe if the deal expires, we put in a slightly different deal that involves getting rid of players like Sami Nasri, Bravo, Bonny, those sort of players, and we'll see what comes of that. A bidding for Leroy Sané, there's no chance he's going. Bayern Munich, they're £47.5 million. Chief Executive says as much as £69 million for him. But he's in great form, and yeah, he's doing really well here, so I'm not going to get rid of him. Okay, so on to the big Manchester derby now. This is the side I'm going to go with. We've got Ederson starting in goal, Kyle Walker right back, Stones and Bonucci at centre back again because Kompany's out injured. Mendy at left back, then we've got Gundogan, De Bruyne and Silva in midfield. Gabriel Jesus on the right hand side, Sanchez on the left with Sergio Aguero starting up front. This is meant to go with Mangala, Ferreira, Sol, Diaz, Roberts, Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling all start. So no recognised striker, but there's no issues with some of those players playing striker anyway, along with Sanchez, who could go up there as well as Gabriel Jesus. So let's see how we get on against Man United. Of course, a huge derby match. I'm not really too sure where they are in the league. They're certainly behind us because we're top. and I'm not so sure how far behind us. Significantly behind us. 14 points, is that right? Yeah, I think 14 points. So, yeah, they're well behind us in third place. Well, here we go at the Etihad for this match against Manchester United. I'll be interested to see what sort of team they put out for this game, how strong it'll be. By looks, we've got Pogba out so far. Don't know who they'll have up front. They've signed Lukaku on this. Very unusual for FIFA to get something right for their transfers. They've signed Lukaku and they've got him up front. Sanchez trying to get round Valencia. Still going here. Sanchez plays it inside. Aguero! Oh, took a deflection which actually put it closer to David De Gea in the end, but it was saved, and a good opening 10 minutes from us. De Bruyne's won it back. Now needs to play a pass. De Bruyne's still going. The ball goes through here to Gabriel Jesus. Not seen much of him so far. Jesus, can he make it 1-0? Jesus, oh, saved by David De Gea. Probably took an extra touch than I was hoping for, to be honest. It was a bit of a late shot. Got very close to David De Gea. Wanted it there, and it ended up going a little bit closer to him. Made it easier, and it's out for a corner. It's going to be played short to Kevin De Bruyne. What's his delivery going to be like? Terrible. Bernardo Silva looking to turn his man. Silva to shoot. Oh, again saved it by David De Gea. I think the strike didn't quite manage to find the corners as I'd hoped. It's half time, it remains 0-0 here, and yeah, the Manchester derby has been an interesting one from our perspective. We have created a few chances, we have had quite a few shots. Man United not having so many, just not got the opening goal yet, not quite a good enough chance, a clear-cut chance, or had the finish at the moment. So we are struggling in that sense, but still going, and I'm sure there'll be a goal between us at least. I just wait and see which side it'll be for. At the moment, though, we do look like the most likely team to score. Short one here. Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, what a hit. Aguero switching it out now to Sanchez. Great chance. Sanchez coming on his right foot and deflects, I think, out for a corner there. So close. Needed a shot on target. Doesn't quite manage to find anybody. Can't believe that's what's happened to John Stones. It's now Lukaku up against Mendy. All from our own corner. Lukaku takes an early shot and it's awful. That's awful. That's terrible. Mourinho can't believe it. 75 million on that. Although they probably got him for cheaper on here. Aguero looking to Gabriel Jesus. A great pass. Jesus now must finish it off, and he does. It's 1-0 with 20 minutes left of this game. Gabriel Jesus puts us into the lead and gets us a vital goal there to try and win this Manchester derby. There's still time left, of course, for things to happen, but it certainly is helpful to put us in the lead with 20 minutes to go. Good little finish as well. Nice little play from Sergio Aguero, assisting Gabriel Jesus to get the goal. Just gets around his defence and manages to slot it home. Nice little finish, 1-0. Well, these aren't bad changes to bring on with 20 minutes left. Leroy Sané, Sol and Raheem Sterling all coming on. Gundogan, Sergio Aguero and also Sanchez coming off as well. We're going to stick up Gabriel Jesus up front. And yeah, not bad to be bringing on those three players with 20 minutes left. We're freshening things up, but also trying to keep us with an attacking threat as well on the counter-attack. Oh no, not a great pass. Falls into the path of, I think, Griezmann and Mkhitaryan there were lurking, but I don't know what we've done there. I don't know how Man United have taken a chance as well. That's it, it's a win for us. It's only a 1-0 win, but we'll happily take it. I did say that I thought it would be quite a narrow victory and maybe it'd just be the one goal in it. It's happened as well, and got ourselves a 1-0 win. It's a deserved win as well. We have had the better opportunities. Of course, Man United not taking a couple of theirs. We made a mistake when we were 1-0 up. They didn't take that. Lukaku ran through and he took an early shot and didn't take that. And that was at 0-0. So they could have had the opportunity to beat us potentially, but they just didn't take the chances. On to some player drills now before we take a look at any more emails. The exact same 5 drills that we did last week. So Hill remains in for us. Counter goes up to 68 overall. Fantastic week for him, going up on loads of different stats. We are training on 2 drills because the potential is so high that we've got to have him as an option to come in once he's 16 years old. And that also reminds me to mention Joe Hart will be leaving in some capacity, not really too sure, as will Yaya Toure by the looks of it. We'll get on to Yaya Toure in a second, but Joe Hart will be leaving, whether it be on loan or being sold. Might be this transfer window, might be in the summer, not 100% sure just yet. Yaya Toure is going to Spurs though. He's got less than 6 months on his contract, and I said that we wouldn't be renewing his contract. This will be his final season. He's decided to join Spurs at the end of the season. An interesting signing for them. Obviously he's going down in overall now. He's 80 overall. He's still doing an okay job, but the reason why he doesn't play as much is his stamina. He just physically can't play and recover for the next match particularly well. He played not the last game, but the game before. Still hasn't fully recovered. That's because he's going down his stamina by the day. So it's a sad to see him go, obviously, to one of our rivals, but yeah, that's the way it is, sadly, and it does mean that he will continue to play next next year, which would be nice to see. I thought he'd maybe retire, but maybe next year will be his final year. Okay, transfer offer in here for Bonnie. Fantastic news. Another player that we want to try and get rid of. We're going to hopefully try and get him off to Athletic Bilbao. I'm not even going to ask what he's worth. You can have him for 11. It's £1 million less than what he's worth, but we need to get these players out the door and give us some space for other players. Spurs come back and say they'll pay £11.5 million to Lucas Hernandez, taking another player from us. But that, of course, is absolutely fine because he's one that we want to get rid of. Could be returns back from injury as well, so some really good news for us today, and that he should therefore come back. Maybe not for this game against Middlesbrough that we have, but probably then the game afterwards in next episode. Youth Scout report back as well. I'm always interested to see exactly what sort of players have come back. We don't actually have any space in our youth squad, so we'll try and change that, but to be honest, I don't think we'll have any space at all. Okay, so I managed to get rid of 2 players, but it was reluctantly, to be honest. Their potentials were actually fairly high, but I just didn't know whether they'd quite manage to make it to that potential. So I'm going to have to now be really, really strict with the guys I let in, because we have so many good players. This sort of guy is going to be rejected because his potential just isn't good enough. He's got to have really high potentials on both of them, his lower and upper bounds. So we'll see how we get on this week with those players coming in. This guy is certainly going to join us, and that takes up the final space that we have. So we'll take a look at the other guys and literally just get rid of the ones that we don't need. There's some good players again this week. Hugh Evans looks fantastic. Yeah, well, this month's English players look pretty decent. 3 players there that I want to try and get into our youth academy at some point. Of course, we can't right now. And surprisingly, no Brazilians this month. Okay, so that means that's everything for today's episode. Don't quite have enough time for the game against Middlesbrough. Not so sure whether I should sim it or whether I should play it. We won 2-0 in the last leg. And it is at home, this one, but I think with it being a semi-final, I think you've got to play it, really. So that will be everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully the length of the video has been okay. It's really difficult to tell when I'm recording it, and obviously you haven't seen the clips and that sort of thing. But if we could try and hit 100 likes on today's episode, I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, or just simply haven't subscribed yet, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well down below. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.